I consider this a role-playing game. Today you'll be playing the part of the piñata.
Hello and welcome to another episode of OMGame Boy mini podcast for gamers with a Z. Because you know, gamers rule, parents drool. With me as always is my player 2,
Noctendo,
because that's what we say every episode. That's his name, Noctendo. So today's topic is probably about the biggest, most important mascot ever in the history of mascots. It's the original PlayStation mascot from 1995. We're talking about Polygon Man, capital P, capital M.
This blew me away.
Yeah, if you don't know who Polygon Man is, pause this podcast, go on Wikipedia because that's where we're reading off of, and just come back because this whole episode is about Polygon Man. Now, Nick, before we talk about Polygon Man, do you recollect anything about him or knew anything before this episode?
He was in like a commercial. That's my entire knowledge of Polygon Man. I was like, yeah, the dude from the commercial, and I said it like a surfer because I was a surfer back in.
You were a surfer in 1995, yeah.
Yeah, I was like 5 or 10, whatever I was.
Yeah, what were you? 10, I guess.
10. Yeah, we were 10. We were 10.
So Polygon Man was the original mascot before the PlayStation launched in September of 95. So at E3 in 95, instead of using individual mascots for the games that were coming out like Nintendo did, right. And I don't know what other I guess Sega. I mean, obviously Sega had Sonic, but they didn't have a mascot for the entire brand
system. No, it was like they had game mascots. This was a system mascot.
Sony decided to create some garbage-looking, fucking stupid-ass mascot for their entire brand.
Yeah, and it's the best mascot I've ever seen.
He looks like fucking shit.
No, I actually did my haircut like Polygon Man today.
You actually do kind of look like Polygon Man.
No, and the shading and everything too. You all should look up a picture of him so you know who the hell we're talking about.
Well, Polygon Man, his picture is going to be the cover of this episode so people can see. If you want to go back and forth and look up you on Twitter and then look up Polygon Man, we can tell. Mm-hmm. So he was the original mascot. He was used and then they nixed him because they were like, no, he looks like shit.
Can you tell us who said he looks like shit? Because that's the funniest part, I think.
Well, wasn't it the chairman of Sony?
Yeah. He came over and he saw them at the booth, and it was like at E3, and there was Polygon Man, and the quote was, he saw Polygon Man design on the side of the booth, and Ken just went absolutely insane. And I was like, oh, he loved it? No, he thought it was shit. He was like, get it out. Get Polygon Man out. We're done with Polygon Man. Get it away.
So he was in print ads in magazines. Mm-hmm. He was all over. Commercial. Apparently, he had like an omnipresent voice. I think he wasn't a commercial. I think you're right. I think he technically wasn't a commercial. Like they had this voice that was like this God voice, and they even showed like a commercial with him in it at that E3. I found a video of it, and basically, what am I looking for? Yeah, in this advertisement for Sony before it came out, they were showing a montage of like all these games, and it was super extreme. And then it was like, what else? Yeah, it was. And then it said, what else do you need to know? And then his face appeared. Yeah. And then his voice was like, no, get out there and play.
It's hilarious because he had catchphrases that were really weird. But
I'll read some of them. I know you want to read some of them.
It's more powerful than God. Like that's a pretty big statement. Yeah. One of them was like, power is an illusion. I was like, oh, okay. That makes sense.
A fucking psycho. So he was just a head.
Yes, just a head. A spiky fucking polygon head, correct?
Yes. A spiky polygon head with, it's hard to explain because he had he was just jagged everywhere.
Purple.
That's all he was.
Blue, I guess. I don't know. He had the eyes. Those eyes were really. Yeah, he had the 2 dots. They were like.
Oh, you're right.
And he always was grimacing, which was kind of like either cool or scary, or I'm not sure, but. I respect him.
I respect everything he's got going on. Even though you kind of look like him, I respect him more than you.
Yeah, I'm modeling myself after him. I'm not there yet. I need yellow glowing eyes.
Okay. So get this. He was created for Sony by an advertising agency called Chiat Day, and their resume is fucking banging. Listen to what else they made. So before they made the Polygon Man, they created that 1984 Macintosh ad. Do you remember that famous ad?
The Apple with the bite in it with the colors?
No. In 1984, there was an advertisement for a Macintosh computer, but it was based off of the book 1984. So somebody comes in and throws like a javelin at like a Big Brother screen. You never seen that?
No, hold on. I'm actually gonna look it up while we're talking.
Yeah, it's a really popular ad. They created the Jack in the Box mascot from the restaurant, the fast food place.
I do. Wow, check that out.
They created the Taco Bell Chihuahua.
Wait, they created him?
Yep. They were responsible for the marketing campaign for Final Fantasy VII.
Wait, did they?
Yeah. Real? And the most recent one that's like huge is they created the most recent logo for Gatorade, which is just like a giant G.
Yeah, with the lightning bolt through it. Oh,
yeah.
Dude, I actually recognize this. The woman.
What's that?
The woman running?
Yes,
with
that's
the
it.
javelin? Yeah. And
she looks
like Olympics.
That made the biggest commercial of all time. Also created this fucking stupid
biggest stinker of all time. Wow.
Yeah. So he's insane. It actually, the funny thing is, he reminds me of Freddy Krueger because I feel like they tried to make him a thing. We killed him. Now he tried to get people to remember him. He was like, "Oh, I want you to buy a PlayStation.
Power is an illusion."
Maybe he's too much like Freddy. Maybe he was a pedo, they had to let him go.
Oh, Me Too. He got Me Too'd.
He got Me Too before there was a thing.
Yeah.
Me Too isn't about pedophiles.
It could be if it's a girl.
What? Anyway, yeah, he's basically Freddy Krueger. He looks like Freddy. He looks fucking jacked up like Freddy Krueger. He's nasty.
No, he does look like Freddy Krueger.
His voice, he tried to get people to remember him. Well, guess what? You would think that that's the end of Polygon Man's story, right? He comes out in the summer.
It failed,
summer
right?
95. You thought it was it.
They cut him. Yeah.
Well, guess what? He came back in 2012.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding, dude. Have you ever heard of the game PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale?
Yeah, 2012. Oh my God, that was one of the greatest comeback stories of all time. This game was like a culmination of like so many things. It was like all these different games coming together. It was like a rivalry game, which was kind of cool. You're telling me Polygon Man was involved?
Polygon Man is the reason it exists.
Wait, it's not the reason it exists.
Well, no, in this so get that. So if for anyone that's not familiar, PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale was a PlayStation 3 game, and it was like Super Smash Brothers, but with PlayStation characters, like mascots.
Yeah.
But the worst thing is, what's the first mascot you think of when you think of PlayStation?
Janks and Clack.
I don't know who that is.
I said the name like Clank and Jax. What is it, Clank and?
I don't think they're in it.
Yeah, they are.
Ratchet and Clank. Oh, you're right.
Thank you. Yeah. And also, Parappa the Rapper. That's the two I think of.
Crash Bandicoot's not in it.
Yeah, you're right. Crash isn't in it.
Lara Croft is not in it.
Yeah, they really picked like some kind of obscure ones. So I think it had to do with
real fucking weird ones. So
it was copyright rated, probably related.
So they released this game, and the whole story is this entity is making people fight each other and is trying to find the biggest fighter and the best fighter. So you find out the final boss is actually Polygon Man.
It's the Shao Kahn of.
Yes, I was about to say he's Shang Tsung. Funny. He started this fucking tournament.
That's awesome. That's
so hilarious. At the end, you get to the final boss and you find out that he started this because he resents everyone for becoming more famous. So he's in the back of this area sending like minions at you during the level.
Is that why they made him the final boss?
Yes. Because he was the very first PlayStation mascot.
Because he's a failed thing that like is still like in the system, like he's in the blue.
He's with the kids.
You know the lines that make up cyberspace or like computer space, like you know how they have blue lines that go across.
He's living in like the synthwave world.
Yes. Yeah. Is that what? Oh my God. Is that the idea behind this?
Yeah. It's probably like, hey, this is our first mascot, and I mean, as the kids would say, he's bitter AF. You know what that means, right?
Yo, bitter AF, yeah.
So,
what is that? Actual functioning?
Yes, actual functioning.
But, he's bitter actual functioning.
But I remember I actually owned this game, and I thought that was probably the coolest part of that game because looking back, there was no Crash Bandicoot. There was mascots from PlayStation, but it wasn't as fun as you would imagine.
There was a
but Polygon Man being the main villain at the end was hilarious because I'm like, he looked even nastier too.
Oh, dude, was he spikier than usual? Here's the fucked up part. He had more polygons in his final battle than he had his entire life.
That is so true.
I mean, honestly, who's come more full circle than Polygon Man?
So some of the things he says during the matches with you is he says, I'll say him like Freddy Krueger.
Please.
I am supreme. I cannot lose. It's probably if I re-listen to this episode, my Freddy Krueger is probably really bad.
Your Freddy Krueger is awful.
He says easily replaced.
He's almost talking about himself. That's projection.
Yeah. You've been practicing.
You've been practicing.
There you go. There we go. That's Freddy Krueger. But yeah, so it's great that they brought him back, but then they killed him again. So rest in peace. Rest in Polygon Man.
Rest in Polygons. R.I.P. The dude. Does anyone know how many polygons Polygon Man actually took up? I actually found a count on this.
No, I don't know, but actually I would love to hear.
7583.
Is that true?
Yeah. So they did a little math, figured out how much his face would take, how many of the spikes in his face. The dark web. Anyway, what we found is that number divided by 14 is 408. 418 and a half. But either way, like that was like 418. April 18th was when it was supposed to launch. So that's pretty cool, right?
I don't think so. I don't think any of that information is correct.
Well, check your math, folks. But either way, come back to us.
Come back. Anyway, if you're listening, come back to us with the facts. I mean, we got the facts, but you're probably right. We got the facts. Yeah. So Polygon Man, going back to what you said, how the creator reacted when he saw him. You want to know the main reason why he reacted like that? So apparently he reacted like that because the design was a certain shade that he didn't like. So instead of being the Gurod shaded, it was flat shaded.
Flat shaded. I did hear this. Yes.
So Gurod, I'm saying it wrong probably, but Gurod shaded is just smooth, completely smooth. And I think it would have just been smooth, like his face would have been normal. Mm-hmm. But they changed it to flat shaded. It didn't tell him, I guess. And that's why he looks like fucking ugly and jagged and purple and stupid. And I hope he dies. And I'm glad he died. And I'm glad he came back. And now I'm glad he died again because he's ugly.
This is the thing. It makes me sad because if they just added a few more polygons, maybe he would have been different. Maybe he would have been heroic. Maybe he would have been someone we all looked up to. And because we didn't add a few polygons, we lost a good man. I know he appeared in a later game, but how many games did we lose thanks to Polygon Man not making it? Why don't you ask yourselves this? Everyone is a PlayStation aficionado, someone who's big into gaming and has all these things to say, but like, how many games did we lose? Wow.
Yeah. Think about that. That's a real thing to think about.
That's deep AF. Deep AF. Actual facts.
Isn't this crazy that he was the very first victim of cancel culture?
He was, and I don't think he deserved it.
He did not deserve it. Unless he was a pedophile. That if he
was
unless
he was a pedophile, he was touching kids, we do not condone. I understand. Yes. Either way, I think Polygon Man was kind of like all of us a little bit. Like, hey, he was excited for the new system. Hey, this is how many polygons he's got to work with. 7984.
Hey, I just want to be hanging out with the other mascots. Hey, don't
exactly.
Yeah, like
yeah. I want my own game. I want my own system. I want my own everything. And I think a lot of power was thrust real quickly. And I think there was a failsafe with they didn't think it would work for him. And I think that's a damn shame. And I think what we're here to say tonight is that maybe we should have.
He is Polygon, but not forgotten, right?
Wow. I couldn't have put it better myself. That's literally...
Yeah, so wow. That's it. Thank you, Polygon Man, for being the hero we needed, but didn't deserve.
Seriously. I really want to thank you for your service. If you guys want to check out our socials, check out our socials. If you want to check out our socials, check out our socials.
All right. On that note, have a good night. Rest in peace, Polygon Man. We'll see you on the other side.
Thanks.